you know, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm not gonna suck y'all heads off. I love you guys, like I said, and I just want to say again, I thank you guys for y'all support. I thank you guys for, you know, tapping into my spirit, learning me, even when I wasn't posting. Guys, the ones that still liked my videos, I'm not a bad person. I'm a great, caring person. I'll give my last, I give my all to a lot of people, and people take it for granted, and I'm learning to love myself now. So, you know, when you start to love yourself, it becomes a problem. And, you know, I looked at one thing about my life. When you learn to listen to God, and this is a statement that I want to make, because I had no friends. I had nobody that was by my side. Even if they was by my side, they wasn't there to make it be known. So it's just like now, like this whole week, I've pulled back from people because it's just like, you know, it's not an issue that I have an issue with people. I have an issue when I don't listen to what God is telling me. And that's the difference between me and a lot of people. So that's why I've always been a loner. And every dark cloud and moment I've had to be alone, I learned to deal with my own problems. So when I go into the streets and I have to deal with other people's problems, it's like, girl, when you by yourself, when you free, you don't have to do that. So I'm telling anybody out there that feel like they got to have family, friends, loved ones, you could do whatever you want to do by yourself. And that's what I'm learning to do. Like, regardless, I was at a point where I could have been paralyzed, like not even being able to talk, like no weight on me, face sunk in. Like, I'm not all the way healed, but I just thank God I can stand on this camera today and say, God, I thank you, God, for the healing that you did in my body, that you did in my mind, that you did spiritually, physically, mentally, even with my heart, God, even the way I talk, even the way I'm learning to carry myself as a young man, God. And I just thank you, God, for, you know, allowing me to be on this earth for these 32 years. You know, in August, I'll be 33. And, you know, I thank God, you know, even with my scars, I don't look like what I've been through. And I'm grateful that I don't look like the storms that I've been through the scars, through, you know, the missing teeth. That does not define the Spirit of God shining a light down on me. And God, I ask you for the rest of my days that you forever shine your light on me, God. I might not be an angel, but I'm a chosen one. And a lot of people don't like it when you chose. And they will do everything to tear you down. And what I had to come to the conclusion was everything this week, it was in God's plan. It wasn't in my way. I didn't direct any of my paths this week. Even anywhere I went this week, I let God direct me. Even when it came to how I work out, when it came to anything I was doing, I chose to let God direct my path, even if it didn't make sense to whoever. It was just like God said, you need to rest. You need to spend time with yourself this week. You don't need to overdo anything. You don't need to overplay your part. You need to let God play your cards from now on. That's what I'm learning to do. Every time I went out the will of God and tried to chase after friends or do that or do this,